Hello everybody. I'm recording this on one of the hottest days in the UK right now. I don't even get what the right temperature is right now, but I'm dying in here. There's no AC and it really sucks. But you know, I'm gonna still record this because I need to get this out by about before my birthday, so in a few months, Pokemon Wind and Waves will have released, which is the big 10th generation of the Pokemon franchise. And I mean me, I've been a fan ever since Generation 6, which is a very recent generation compared to a lot of other people, but like, I'm young, you know, I didn't get what you guys had in the past. I have to get with all this new stuff. However, before Wind and Waves released, I did my own region as a bit of a side project to all of my college artwork. And it was called the Barmy region, which before I based on my interpretation of the UK, but now it's just generally London and what it's like to live in that same city. Now I can guarantee most of you watching the video are most likely coming from Discord. I mean, some of you may be coming from YouTube, but I posted a lot of stuff on Discord during the last couple months, and a lot of those I will be presenting in this series, simply just as a commentary of what I've been doing. However, in this video, I am just going to show you the first 3 starter Pokemon for this supposed Barmy region. While I have prepared the other evolutions for these starters, I cannot show them yet. I've got 4 of them done, 2 others taken a while because I don't know how to draw, but that's beside the point. I'm sure you guys are going to see these starters and get very excited for the rest of the episodes to come. Hoping this video does it. Also, this is going to be very annoying, but this channel isn't new, but I'm probably going to get a lot more views from this video, so please like, subscribe, share, comment, and do everything else in this video to get it pushed out. And also, I'm going to sponsor myself. Go look at my Instagram, where I'll post all of these designs as soon as they're up on YouTube. Thank you guys. Whoa, that was scary. Anyways, we're getting into the speed paints now. Unlike a lot of other people who do Fakemon content, I am not reading off of a script for this one. I can't even see what the speed paint looks like, but I am simply just going to commentate over my thought process of the 3 different designs. And I can pretend I have an audience in front of me. I'm pretending there's a bunch of you on like chairs in a cinema somewhere, and I'm like a stand-up doing my "oh hey, look at my art" or something, you know? Now, a few things that's going to be a bit special here. I do genuinely have a really bad stuttering issue, and it's been affecting me for probably ages. For those who knew me from Jake's 10 artists, 1 sprite video, I didn't stutter there because I was reading off of a script, but I don't have to follow a script. No one's telling me to follow a script, so I'm doing it myself, hey? So, like, just bear with me, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I've prepared pretty much everything I want to say, and probably what you're gonna say is what I'm drawing right now. Well, as you can see here, my thought process for my grass starter was a bit of a Bulldog mixed with a pug. Like, for the past few months, I've been falling in love with these baby pictures of pugs, and they just look like such idiots. They look like they know nothing, and I really wanted a Pokemon out of it. And sure, Snubble exists, but I would love to find somebody who likes Snubble, and you probably don't either, let's be honest. Okay, now before we got Gen 10 and gave us Pombon, who is objectively adorable, for ages I have wanted a dog starter Pokemon, and I don't know why it exists or why it took so long. I mean, when you consider starter Pokemon, they're basically like pets already, and everybody has had a dog at some point, or at least had a dog that they love. And this region's based on London, and we have a lot of Bulldogs here. You've probably heard the phrase a British Bulldog, and that's pretty much exactly what I channeled here. But except, it's definitely not as strong in its base form. Definitely, what you would consider or call someone a British Bulldog will come to light in its future evolutions. But now I wanted just sort of a scrappy baby Bulldog. I like to imagine that when this Pokemon's in a fight, it's very competitive, very scrappy, and loves to run into things with its hard as crap head. That's probably made off of more bones than probably most other heads. For the longest time when I was making this Pokemon, I was really considering what makes something a grass type. Because I went through a lot of different iterations of designs, and I'll throw them up, and I really struggled on whether to include the leaves or not. I'd already imagine, like, Bulldogs don't have much fur or any fluff on them, and imagining this Pokemon, I always just imagined it having fur like a bush, which would, to me, would be obvious, but in terms of the actual design, someone could easily look at that and say it's just a green normal type dog. So hopefully, with the way I stylized the fur, it looks like a grass starter, it looks like it can do some damage, it has grass moves that it can use, you know? Now, when people usually do their starter Pokemon, they usually say all of the themes and starter, like, trio themes towards when they do their final stages. But this time, I'm not gonna do that. Because I want people to theorize what these Mon are gonna turn into. Well, at least people who are seeing on YouTube, those who are on Discord, you guys know exactly what's going on. However, if I state these themes now, hopefully it can get you guys thinking about what these could potentially turn into. The theme was different parts of British television and different genres of British television. Now, of course I am going to use the Galar starters as inspiration. Even if they're definitely not my favourite starters, I prefer a lot of the early gen ones. Not the ones now that look like they wouldn't just belong in the wild. But now, I've got a theme for all of the starters to sort of lap back around to. As for my Bulldog, which I've decided to name Kickupp, very funny me, I know, is of course based on the World Cup in Premier League. Actually, as of right now, as I'm recording this, we're having a big World Cup event right now. So hopefully I'm gonna get this out by now, because if not, it's gonna be so soon, and I'm definitely gonna be disappointed by the results, like, every year, but that's just how it is, you know? So obviously I wanted some of that competitive energy to come in through Kickupp. You can definitely see its determined expression, and it is sort of like a junior football player, where sure, they're competitive, but really they're just having fun and not here to, like, actually beat anyone up. Wink wink. Now, we're gonna meet Kickupp later, since I've got a full Pokedex entry, which I'm gonna show after I show all of my speed paints. That just makes it a lot more easier, and I can continue talking like this for the rest of the video. Now, little old Hoblet over here isn't really a frog, I more based it on a toad. There's not much differences there, but if you look at them in media, there's quite dramatic differences. Usually toads are a lot more chunkier. So that's what I developed here. If you compare this Pokemon with Froakie, who is the other frog starter, you may be oh my god, it's hot in here. I'm sorry. Hold on, I need to go turn a fan on. Actually, I don't even have a fan. I have a hairdryer, give me a sec. Inspiration behind Hoblet this time is cooking.
It's not even pink, this raw!
And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
In the UK, we have so many cooking shows. You can go over to here, and you can see so many different people making so many different dishes, so many different cakes and soups. It's ironic, you know, because us over here, we're known for the stereotype of having bad food. And as a matter of fact, that's sort of what I encompassed here. You know, you guys can insult us all we want, because at the end of the day, it's gonna become a cool frog. But the specific dish that I based this off of was a toad in the hole. It is not a toad in a hole, but it is a toad. And maybe in its future evolutions, I'll put it inside of a hole, to preferably bury it, because this thing is so ugly. A big part of this design that I decided to focus on was one specific big detail that I would encompass the entire evolution line. That being its tongue. While I struggled to think of whether this would be a tongue that can turn into lava, or lava that is in the shape of a tongue, I went for the second option, because really it's a fire type, and I feel like most fire types should have fire in their anatomy. If it's not red hot at least, just give it some sort of fire. I mean, we did that ever since Generation 1. It should help here. Actually, speaking of, there's no real fire types with magma or lava properties, at least I can think of on top of my head. Maybe this can be the first one, who knows? Speaking of, I additionally want you guys to guess what types these Pokemon are going to be, because I can guarantee they are not going to be what you expected. And now it's time for the water starter. I knew going into this that I wanted to have some sort of unique personality that at least one of the starters has. So I decided to channel in sort of like an overdramatic Swan. When going through these starters, I had one mammal, I had one amphibian, and I can only really have a water bird as the other one. And when I was thinking of water birds in the UK, or at least waterfowl, I thought of the mute swans, which... The part of the crown, which is a part of the UK, probably never heard of it because you guys don't know anything about us, but they are pretty much the only mute swans that are found in the country, and they all pretty much belong to them solely. And let's be honest, swans have pretty much been a symbol of romance and love ever since, well, they were written about all those years ago. You know, we have swan boat rides, there's like lovebirds, and a lot of swans usually like to pair up with each other. And, you know, generally entities and gods of love are usually depicted by swans or some other waterfowl that isn't a swan. So, while I don't like to go for the obvious choice of a starter theme, I just thought it was necessary for this one because it just wouldn't feel the same if it was without it, you know? It's obvious what it's gonna turn into, but hey, maybe you guys can choose another idea in the comments below. Speaking of which, let's go into real time and let's check out these starters' Pokedex entries, shall we? Kickupp, the Bulldog Pokemon, the grass type. These impatient pups are considered fitting for young trainers, as ever since they were first domesticated by humans, their love for fitness activities became priority 1. The energy they give off has been described by all the trainers as infectiously addicting, as anyone in a grumpy mood will have their emotions wished away through one affectionate kiss from a Kickupp. Many solitary moss balls have been found alone in the region, and recent confirmation has concluded that these are from Kickupps. Competitive drive to always win. Make sure you never underestimate their friendliness, as they will mope if they ever lose a fight and are only motivate themselves after 3 days. Now, like most grass starters, their ability is Overgrow, but I gave them a new hidden ability. I will give all the starters these. This one's called Turf Control, meaning whenever the opponent switches in a battle, Kickupp's speed increases by 1 stage, as if it owns the battlefield, and can get the advantage from it. Hoblet, the tiny toad Pokemon, a fire type. When young trainers work with a Hoblet, it is reported that it is hard to motivate them unless something nutritious is promised upon them. Despite this limitation, they love their trainers more than anything, and will always share a meal no matter how revolting they find it. Once food has been consumed, the Hoblet will regurgitate it into a sphere that is over 700 degrees Celsius. Alternatively, they enjoy cooking meals, and offering them to any trainer it deems friendly. They are creative, and love to be inspired. However, if it can tell that a trainer does not like what it makes, then it will shelter itself until it creates its next masterpiece. When in battle, it follows strict instructions, making them difficult to work with. A Hoblet's ability, like every fire starter, is Blaze, and I gave him the new hidden ability Zest, meaning every berry this Pokemon consumes is guaranteed to cure burn, and double the effect of every berry it consumes. I don't know how broken this ability would be, so you guys are gonna have to let me know. Would this be useful or not? Who knows. Matide, the Signet Pokemon, a water type. If attention-seeking was a Pokemon, then it would be a Matide, as they love to be the center of any conversation. This often makes them easy to train, as their confidence in battle allows them to use their water moves very precisely. Unfortunately, it does develop tantrums if their mother doesn't give them attention for a certain amount of time. They move and fight smooth like water, and in nature they'll do this to get a mate, and they will treat their trainers and other Pokemon around them like an audience. And while they do show genuine care for their trainers, then enough discipline could lead to Matide becoming lazy and immobile for a certain amount of time. For Matide, I gave them the hidden ability Mirror Lake. So if this Pokemon's special attack or special defense is lowered, then it's reflected right back on the opponent. Once again, I don't know how broken this would be, but hopefully it's good enough. Once again, let me know about the balancing thing, since I'm not a competitive player in the slightest. And there they are, 3 starter Pokemon, which I would think are the most British Pokemon I can make. That being said, I am not done yet. I've still got to do the evolutions as well. I am most likely gonna do this again, because really this is a passion project, but in order for me to get better content, I need your guys' help. I need you guys to tell me what I can improve, what else can I do, and suggest some Pokemon ideas down below, because I'd love to see your guys' suggestions. I have a bunch of ideas already that I want to execute, but since I want this to be a bit collaborative with you guys, please let me know what you want and what you don't want. Anyways, that'll be it for this video. Once again, I'll tell you to like and subscribe. This is a completely brand new video. I haven't uploaded in ages. So if you really want to kickstart this series, it would mean everything if you guys can subscribe. Anyways, that's about it. I'll see you all next time.